And here with Toby Harris, coach of the Greenbrier West Cavaliers. Cavaliers preparing for James Monroe. Coach, first of all, it's a rematch. I know a lot of coaches would rather see somebody else different in the playoffs, but what kind of advantages does this give you that you played James Monroe? Now, that was the one loss you've had this year. What kind of advantages does that give the Cavaliers going into this game?
Well, I don't know that it gives us an advantage, but we're just happy to be playing in the second week, whoever we get, and the kids, they realize we played James Monroe once, and they put it on us pretty good. But we hope we're going to correct some of our mistakes, and we'll just see what we can do when we get down there.
You've been able to operate two quarterbacks this year with Cole Vandall and Tucker Lilly. A lot of people will say, yeah, I know you know the saying, if you got two quarterbacks, you don't have one, but both your quarterbacks say that we kind of proved that was not correct. What does a two quarterback system give you here?
Well, it gives us some things. Cole, I think, was our leading rusher last week. When we moved him he plays the fullback when he's not playing the quarterback a lot of times, and he had a real good running game last week. So, we have Tucker in there under center, or Tucker playing quarterback and Cole running. That gives us another dimension.
What does each one do well? Or starting with Cole Vandall, what does he do well at quarterback?
Well, they both throw well. When we first started doing this in August, we thought, well, Cole might be more valuable to us throwing the ball, and Tucker might be more valuable to us running the option and running up under center, but it hasn't really turned out that way.
It's kind of gone the other way.
It's gone the other way. Tucker's been very successful throwing the football. Cole's been very successful running the football.
When you look at the size is a little bit different too. Does that play any factor at all? I mean, Cole's good six foot plus, and Tucker, of course, is about 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah, that's stretching at 5'8" or 5'9".
Right,
yeah,
well, I was trying to be nice.
Tucker's he's a small kid, but he's a wrestler. He's very strong, very quick and durable, and I think he surprised a lot of people with his size. Cole's just a big body, and he's hard to bring down when he's got the football.
Coach, you've got 8 shutouts now. Coming into the season, we talked about it when you were at 5. You set the school record at 4, and you went on to get 5, which was the school record. You're at 8 now. You shut out a very good South Harrison team last week in the first round of the playoffs. Has this defense done anything that surprised you, or have you come to kind of accept that? And I know Friday will be a different beast with James Monroe, a very good offensive team. And I know you don't care, but just as long as you have one more point, shut out. But what's made this defense so good? Does it surprise you at all?
Well, I think Friday night it was just it's all pride and it's all desire. Those kids were just playing together really well, and they're small, they're aggressive, and they were doing what the coaches wanted them to do, and they were hitting very hard. And they just have a lot of pride on that defense right now. After they got a couple shutouts and they wanted more, and they just go after it all the time.
I understood that you guys hadn't played anybody going into that game last week, so I guess that probably played a little bit of a factor too. Kids hear things.
Yeah, well, we play who we schedule, and we can't make their team for them. We have to. We can't travel all over the state and play a real tough schedule. And sometimes people get all bent out of shape on who you play. But I'm telling you. You just do the best you can, and our kids are ready for any challenge that they come up against. James Monroe's number 1 in the state, so I think that's a pretty good football team. Midland Trill's a good football team. They rated, actually the team we played last week was a heck of a football team, but our kids just rose up to the challenge and played hard.
What is the number 1 major concern facing a team that's got an offense like James Monroe? They can run the ball, they can throw the ball. Their quarterback's got 20 touchdown passes this year. Hooper Ridgeway's 1,000, much like Ty, doesn't have that total yardage, but he's a 2-time 1,000-yard rusher. What's the number 1 thing you have to try to stop to be in that game?
Well, James Monroe gives you something that nobody else on our schedule does. They run a lot of different formations. They have 2 really good running backs. The quarterback stepped up this year. He may be the best quarterback we've seen. He's a very good quarterback. And they have the wide receiver out there with Allen. You can't leave Allen alone. He's probably maybe be a Division I receiver. Got good speed, good size. So they give you a lot of things to look at, and you just have to be ready.
I was looking at some stats today and statewide, and Nickell was 2nd in the state, I think, in scoring. Is there anything that he can't do on a football field? Ty Nickell?
Well, Ty Nickell he's been a really good football player this year. He's played hard since the first day of August, and he's out there every day working hard and playing hard, and he's just as good on defense as he is on offense.
You have seen this program just about from the beginning. I know you were away for a while, but I know you have good knowledge of Greenbrier West football from the beginning. Is Ty Nickell among the, if you had a Mount Rushmore of running backs, and you've had some great ones down here, you think at the end of the day Ty Nickell would be in that top 4 or 5?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. He's got to be right up there. And West, you're right. West has always played an I formation, so you generally have to have a tailback to do that. It's durable and big and can run the football. And and Ty fits the bill. He's one of the best kids we've had over the years.
Would it surprise you to realize that he's one of the few guys, at least in this area, that rushed for? I think Judah Price is the other one, who you guys know well from wrestling. Or those guys know him very well from the wrestling match. Those are like the only two guys that have rushed for over 100 in every game until last week. But the numbers he's put up, Ty, that is, does it surprise you that he's been that consistent all season?
Well, yeah, I think so. And he's kind of like Judah Price in that some of those games weren't real tough games early in the year, and he was only playing a couple quarters a night. He wasn't getting to play much in the third quarter, so he got a lot of his yards without playing a full game. Now last week, that team was tough, and they lined up on Ty and keyed on him really hard, and he probably didn't get his 100 yards last year, although he did have some called back on penalties. It would have probably put him well above 100 if we'd have gotten all that he earned.
You're practicing up here at Greenbrier, our Western Greenbrier Middle School. What was the field like after? I saw some of the kids were sliding on it. Metro News had a nice video of them sliding on
our field is absolutely destroyed after the last week's game. We do a lot of practicing on our field, and that bad weather we had and that type of ball game, so it was so bad we couldn't even get back down there to practice this week. So
nice to have a facility like this in the western part of Greenbrier County that you can come and practice on.
Absolutely, yeah. That's a pretty good little field out here, and they've been through for a while, and nobody's been on it, so it's worked out real well for us to be able to come out here.
Okay. Coach, I appreciate it, and good luck to you guys against James Monroe.
Okay, thank you.